So welcome back to our session of learning German with EGIFL. So in today's session, we'll be learning about pronouns. So as you know, there are three types of person: first person, second person, third person, and they are divided into two categories: singular, plural. So in English, for first person singular, we say I. In German, we say ich. For plural, we say we. In German, we say wir. Now the second person, that is divided into two categories: informal, formal. For informal singular, in German we say du. For plural, we say ihr. And for formal, in singular we say sie. For plural, we say sie. The word remains same. Now the du and sie of singular, it means the same thing. It means you. And ihr and sie of plural means you are. Now for third person, for singular, it's divided into three categories: masculine, neutral, feminine. For masculine, in English we use he. In German we use er. For neutral, in English we use it. In German we use es. For feminine we use she. In German we use sie. And for plural, in English we say they. In German we say sie. So these are the pronouns in German. Now, a special thing about the formal ones. The special thing is the formal ones always remains in capital. Okay, irrespective of their positions. Now in English, the first alphabet of the first word of a sentence always remains in capital. The same happens in German. Now in German, all the nouns remains in capital. But the extra thing that we have is this formal sie, that is you, both singular and plural. They always remains in capital irrespective of their position. No matter wherever they come in a sentence, they will always be in capital. But on the other side, the she and they, those two z's, they will only remain in capital if they come at the first position of a sentence. So guys, now let's do some examples of pronouns. So suppose I want to say I come from India. So I'm speaking about me, I, first person singular. So the word that we have for I in German is ich. So how do we say that? Ich komme aus Indien. Now suppose there are many people with me, okay, and I want to speak for all of them that we come from India. So how do we say that in German? Wir, that is a word for we, kommen aus Indien. Now suppose I have a friend, I want to tell him that you come from India, and I want to tell him in an informal way. So as we learned, for informal singular, the pronoun that we use is du. So how do we say that in German? Du kommst aus Indien. Now suppose I am speaking to a colleague, so I will be speaking in a formal way. So if I want to say the same sentence in a formal way, that you come from India, how do we say that in German? So for that it would be Sie kommen aus Indien. If I want to say you come from India to a lot of people, let's say more than one, plural. If I want to say them in an informal way, I'll say ihr kommt aus Indien. Now this ihr has been used for all the peoples. Now once again, it's informal. If I want to say the same thing in formal, for more than one people, in a formal way, how do we say that? Sie kommen aus Indien. Now let's go to third person. For masculine, the pronoun that we use is he. So if I want to say he comes from India, what I'll say is kommt aus Indien. If I want to say she comes from India, what I'll say is sie kommt aus Indien. If I want to say it comes from India, what I'll say es kommt aus Indien. And for third person plural, the pronoun that we use is sie, which means they. So if I want to say they come from India, sie kommen aus Indien. So guys, these were the examples for pronouns. Now, you might be thinking, why with every pronoun the verb was changing? Like with ish I wrote komme. Why not common? With do I wrote comst. Why not komme or common? Now in that case, we'll be learning verb conjugations in our next video. Stay tuned for more videos of learning German with Eduflair. Ciao.
Eduflair, education driven by passion.